Howdy, and welcome to my video where I will be reviewing linear equations. These questions are taken from the Virtual Math Learning Center. A link to the precise module will be in the description. Right. So in this video, I'll be going through the practice problems in depth and explaining how to do each question, and at the same time reviewing the basic formulas and concepts that you need within this module. So specifically linear equations, right? So start question 1. We're told to find the equation that goes through 2 points. Okay, so when you have 2 points, right, you need to first find the slope. And then second, find the y-intercept. Recall that the general form of a linear equation, right, is y equals mx plus b, where m is your slope and b is your y-intercept. Both our points, neither of them have an x equals 0, which means we will have to solve for the y-intercept. We cannot just plug it in. Okay, so finding the slope is our first step, right? You need to remember a slope formula, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus y1, x1, sorry. It does not matter which point is 1, which point is 2, but make sure you don't mix them up. So I would say this is point 1, and this is point 2. So I get negative 2 minus 5. Wait, not 5, 4, right? And that is over negative 10 minus positive 5. When you simplify this, you get negative 6 over negative 15. The negatives cancel, and you should simplify down to 2/5. Okay. The second step is to find the y-intercept. So we have our m, we have our x and y, and we can just choose point 1, okay? Because it's what should I say? Point 1 is both positive, and I just like positive numbers. So 4, right, equals our slope 2/5 times x, which is 5, and then we add in b. Okay, so again we plugged in point b, not point b, p1, right? And now we can solve. 4 equals 2 plus b equals 2. So we now have enough information. We can form our new equation. Y equals 2/5 x plus 2. All right. So that is question 1. Okay. Question 2 is the same deal, right? Equation for points 5, 4 and 5, negative 2. Again, we need to find a slope and find the y-intercept. So step 1, again, find slope. And we will use our handy slope formula. I'll call the first point P1, the second point P2. So we have y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And this is all equal to, again, 5 10. Okay, so we have negative 2 minus 4 on top. And the bottom, we have 5 minus 5. this gives us -6/0. Now, the denominator is 0, right? So this is undefined. And that means our line is vertical, right? Every vertical line has no slope. Every horizontal line has a slope of 0, and then every non-vertical horizontal line has some non-zero defined slope, right? So because of undefined, right, like I said, we do not have it's going to be just a vertical line, right? There's no angle or horizontal component to this line. For vertical line, there's strictly one x value, and it's 5, right? So our answer here is x equals 5. And that's it. That is our answer. Get to visualize this, right? I have this graph, right? So this is 5, and then here's 4, here is -2. Here's one point, here's another point, and you can see that it's simply just a vertical line up and down at x equals 5. No matter what the y value is, that x value will always stay the same. Okay. Now, number 3, we need a line that is one parallel to this given line, and it goes through this point. Any line that is parallel to that point, I believe. Parallel to point goes through frequency. Okay. And we need another line that goes perpendicular. Okay. So if we want a parallel line, we need to find a slope. Parallel lines have the same slope. Now perpendicular, we have negative reciprocals. And remember, that means you flip the sign and you flip the numerator and denominator around, right? Okay. So part A, right? I need to first find a slope. So one is find a slope. So 5 plus 6x minus 4y equals 0. I'll move the 4y to the other side like this. And then I divide by 4. And now you get 6/4 x plus 5/4, which is simply 3/2 x plus 5/4. Now, it needs to go through this point, right? So we can go from, now we know the slope, right? So I should have highlighted that. We know the slope now. Now what we're going to do is use point slope form to plug in the point. So remember, point slope form, right, is put up here, point slope form. Okay, so y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, so with that being said, our equation becomes y minus 2, right, equals 3/2 x minus 3. And that is our first answer. Sorry for the pauses, I'm just making sure that this is correct. Okay. And now for the second part, right, for part B, we need to, sorry. Now we're going to find a slope, but we're going to use negative reciprocals instead. So we know our original m is 3/2, right? So the negative reciprocal, we're going to flip the sign. So it comes from positive to negative, right? and then we want to flip the numerator and denominator around, and we get negative 2/3. Okay. And same thing, we'll plug it into our point slope form. Y minus, sorry, I just sneezed. Y minus 2 equals negative 2/3 x minus 3. Okay. Point slope is very neat. If you have a slope and a point, you can always make the equation. Okay. As your answer for question 3. Now, question 4, right, is to write the equation of a line that goes through highlighter. It goes through this point and is parallel to this line. So again, parallel, right? Parallel means same slope. Our first step, right, is to find a slope. Our second step will be to plug in the point, and we'll be done. So step 1, find slope. We'll take our equation in standard form, and we will isolate dy. So we'll subtract 5x from both sides, and then we'll divide by negative 4. And we get this, right? So this is just the equation for the line given, right? But we want just a slope, that's what we care about, and to put in this point. So our answer is y equals, y minus negative 2 equals 5/4 x minus 3. So we have y plus 2 equals 5/4 x minus 3. Oh, I guess I should label that. This is step 2. Plug in the point. Right. Now, if you don't remember point slope, right, and you only remember the slope-intercept, right? So you have two, wait, question mark, I put a question mark, okay? So slope-intercept. Remember, you can just plug into your general equation. So you have y equals mx plus b. So negative 2 equals 5/4 times 3 plus b. So negative 8/4 equals 15/4 plus b. So b equals negative 23/4. And your equation becomes y equals 5/4 x minus 23/4. If you were to expand out this equation, you would get this. So either will work, okay? And that is it for linear equations.